couple of Iowa schools shake on it at LC, and the Reivers continue to wheel and deal. Wheeling and dealing at CB Stadium. One moment, frozen in time. Time for another St. Albert season, and you know what that means. New beginning for the Iowa Western Volleyball team in more ways than one. One goal is all it takes. Just ask the Reivers men's soccer team and the ladies keeping score. Score one for the Bluffs Sports Zone. It starts right now. Hello, I'm J.J. Davis, and welcome to another edition of the Bluffs Sports Zone. Deja vu the other night at Lewis Central, as local fans got their first look at the 2013 version of the Iowa Western football team. Now, new year, new team, same old story. Of course, Iowa Central hoping to change that all-too-familiar ending. Didn't happen. The Reivers come out gunning for their fourth straight win over the Tritons, and the reigning national champs break out their new helmets. Iowa Western gets the ball and drives 75 yards. Connor Reivers to Geronimo Allison, first down. Ditto for Akis Teague, big hole, his first of 12 carries. 3rd and 6 from the 12, Reivers a bullet to Antoine Gilbert, first and goal. Now Teague runs for 107 yards overall. This touchdown, the Reivers on the board just over 4 minutes into the game. Next possession, Reivers finds Alex Reed, the former Titan. 43-yard scoring play, 13 to zip home team. And number 15 sits down in the end zone for the first time since breaking his collarbone a season ago. Iowa Western scores the first 3 times it has the ball. Reivers to Geronimo. Allison catches 4 for 116 yards, and this one goes for 60. 20-0 Reivers, still over 5.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Only downside, running back Trayvon Barr injures his right ankle. No problem. Second quarter, Antoine Gilbert jukes and jives. Iowa Western runs wild for 434 total yards in the first half alone. Next play, number 8 falls in 27 to zip. Meanwhile, on the D side, just stuffing the run. Gang tackling right here. Now, penalties hurt the champs. Quarterback Kendall Jackson avoids the blitz and then lets it go. Interference called on Daniel Henry. A few plays later, the QB calls his own number. Iowa Central's only touchdown makes it 27-7, 6:36 left in the half. Scott Strohmeyer in search of a new quarterback. He finds him in Tay Bender. First play, the former K-State QB takes off. 68 yards, runs for 108 overall. Now, Bender then hit Brian Johnson for a touchdown to make it 34-7. Under a minute left, another interference call gives the visitors the ball inside the Reivers 10. Jackson loses it, and Ryan Langford picks it up, and number 20 heads for the hills. An 88-yard fumble return for a TD. Iowa Western rolling 41-7 at the break, and everybody's feeling it.
1, 2, 3, Reivers!
Connor Reivers, 4 touchdown strikes. This one to Malcolm Moore. Overall, the redshirt sophomore, 12 of 16, 266 yards. Alex Reed here, 3 catches for 94, 2 including this one for touchdowns, as the Reivers trounce the Tritons 62-10.
I think the way we started it's kind of the way we ended it in Trinity Valley, and that was kind of the goal. I wanted to see if we could get a quick set the tone early, and I felt we set the tone early.
You hit a couple of those nice passes, let the skill guys do their thing.
Absolutely, that's my job. Just get it to the playmakers and let them do the thing. My job's easy when I have receivers like that, so it's fun to play with them.
That first one, I gotta tell you the truth, I felt like I was moving super slow, like almost like a grandpa. I couldn't feel my legs underneath me, but that second one, I felt a little bit more comfortable. Felt like I was able to turn over a little bit faster and get to that end zone. Tonight was definitely a really good night to feel comfortable and literally feel at home. It was just great being back under the lights at Titan Field.
What do you think the D did as a whole better this week than last?
I'd say we ran to the ball a lot better. Last week we've been working on that a lot. That's probably one of our main focuses is just wrap up, and I think we did a lot better this week, wrapping up, trying to get the guy down as fast as possible and not giving him extra yards.
Where did the team grow the most? First to second, they always say is the biggest growth.
Well, I think for us, and the biggest growth for us was just the consistency, to when you get up 2 scores or that you stay out, you keep the intensity going, and I felt we did. Okay, we still got some work to do.
They did. Stroh and the 4th-ranked Reivers, a sparkling 2-0. Iowa Western is only going to get better.
1, 2, 3.
Back they are. Now look at the numbers. Connor Brevard, another intelligent game. 12 of 16, 266 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And you heard the man. Just get it to the playmakers and let them do their thing. Geronimo Allison, the go-to guy so far early in the season. Former Titan Alex Reed coming on strong. Now, in their 4 wins over Iowa Central, the Reivers have outscored the Tritons 216-24. And right next to that, bottom left column, the visitors give up 686 total yards. Yep, like old times for Scott Strohmeyer and the gang. And again, only the second game. Of course, barring injuries, Iowa Western only going to get better. Next stop, the Juggernaut rolls into Ellsworth for the first of 2 straight road games. And then there's the volleyball team. It just keeps on keeping on. How? Well, let's ask the new head coach. But first, serving up a nail-biter at City Stadium when we come back.
What does the world have in store for you? It's all here. Iowa Western. The world is waiting.
I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all working with United Way for a million little reasons. The kids of our communities. To ensure their academic success all the way to graduation day. You see, it takes about 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a kid becoming one or the other could be a professional athlete, or it could be you. Studies showed the earlier we get to kids, the better their chances. So become a United Way volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor, and make a difference in the life of a child, for the life of that child.
Give.
Advocate.
Volunteer.
Live United. Join your favorite NFL players. Take the pledge. Go to unitedway.org.
This portion of the Bluffs Sports Zone brought to you by Cutler O'Neill, Meyer Woodring, family-owned funeral home, serving Council Bluffs in southwest Iowa for over 100 years.
This game had it all. First game jitters maybe? Or was it the fact that it was, two from the neighborhood? Abraham Lincoln said hello to Lewis Central. Now, in 2012, of course, it was all Titans, and we know the rest. LC goes on to the state quarterfinals in AL, a measly 3-win season. The Lynx looking to avenge a 38-0 whitewashing a year ago. They shake on it with the heat index in the upper 90s. LC 3 and out to start, and then Robert Peters blocks it. The Titans, Tanner George, doesn't get far. AL in business at the LC 34. 5 plays later, Dylan Garner scores from 3 yards out, and the home team's on the board. Austin Simmons and the visitors, nowhere. First 3 series, not one first down. Under 5 minutes to go, first quarter. Jared Thompson hits Brandon Colpitz. A 44-yard scoring play, 13-0 Abraham Lincoln. But the Titans respond. LC drives 73 yards. Simmons to Connor Hannafin, and it's down to the 1-yard line. The quarterback then calls his own number, and the Titans cut the lead in half. Drinking plenty of fluids, staying hydrated. Midway in the second quarter. Whoops! Toby Corner recovers for LC on the AL 32. The Titans second and fourth in the Lynx 15. Simmons to Jake Rogers, and number 11 gives Lewis Central a 14-13 lead with 6:19 left in the half. But the Lynx right back. Peyton Heffernan cuts it outside. 21 yards to the LC 26. And talk about a 1-2 punch. Next play, Dylan Garner, who rushed for 115 yards on the night, pours through with his second touchdown. The Titans head into the break, trailing 20-14. Under 7 minutes left, third quarter. Thompson to Peyton Shinost, and number 7 is gone. 40 yards, 27-14 Abraham Lincoln. Lewis Central just 19 total yards on the ground. So LC rides the arm of Austin Simmons. The junior, 14 of 33, 237 yards to Kyle Larson. Under 4 minutes left in the third. Simmons waits to Mitchell Brinkman, a 10-yard strike, and the lead is cut to 6. Now, a number of AL players, including Brandon Colpitz, out for most of the second half due to leg cramps. Caleb Shudak drills a 27-yard field goal early in the fourth quarter. Lewis Central gets the ball back with just over 2 minutes to go. Simmons to Jake Rogers. And then Shudak again. The sophomore hits a 36-yarder, 27 all with 1:31 left. Lincoln head coach Justin Camrad up in the press box most of the game, back on the sidelines. AL 3 and out, Titans with the ball under a minute to go. Simmons picked off by Jared Garner down to the LC 30. First play. Now Jared Thompson, who was 14 of 24, 231 yards, finds who else? Brandon Colpitz in stride. 30-yard touchdown pass. The Lynx lead 34-27 with 18 seconds left. 0.3 of a second to go. Simmons lets it fly. And guess who? Brandon Colpitz. AL wins a heart stopper.
We're led by a great group of seniors. Not many of them, but there's a great group that have been around for 3 years, that have been a part of our program, and they're fighters. They did not want to give this up tonight.
What was the route for winning touchdown pass?
It was just a simple go route. You know, I didn't even think I was going to get the ball. You know, I told Jared, the safety's been rolling over all game on me, and he looked him off. He went over to the other guy because I'm pretty sure he knew I was cramping, and it just opened up for me. I didn't even think I was going to get the ball, and it just, you know, God answers prayers, and this is one of them.
What does this win mean for you? Because you had an up and down season last year.
For me, I think I realized that I needed to grow up this year, being a senior and being a 3-year starter. I think that it's time to grow up.
We just had to come back and fight, and I think what really did it for us was last year, just like the redemption and the revenge from 38-0. That didn't feel good, so we came back and we wanted to feel good leaving this game.
So how do you sum it up, Jim?
We lost. You know, we got beaten, and we had a chance maybe to get into overtime and win, and we lost. And it's just a gut-wrenching loss.
The Lynx and their fans celebrate. What a way to kick off the season. Jared Thompson and AL outlast LC, as this one had it all. Did it ever, huh? And then there's St. Albert, as the Falcons kicked off a new beginning, and it was the beginning of the end for Griswold. Now we've got a team effort here. IW TV student Eric Morrow gives us the pictures, and Aaron Zach tells us what happened.
St. Albert looking to pick up where it left off. The Falcons go up against Griswold. First quarter, home team is up 2-0. Quarterback Tucker Coljet to Cole McBride. Coljet later scored St. Albert's first touchdown of the season. Little bit later, running back John Bertelson breaks a 40-yard run to give the Falcons a 16-0 advantage. Early second quarter, Bertelsen again finds a hole. The sophomore would run for over 202 yards and 3 touchdowns. This one gives St. Albert a 23-0 lead. Falcons' next possession, Eric Johnson hits John Meyering, who rolls into the end zone. The home team rolled up 533 yards of total offense, and St. Albert guts Griswold 58-23.
Yeah, you know, we knew that we were going to be without our starter, Jacob Benjamin, for the first 4 weeks. So we had a couple young guys in there that we wanted to run at the tailback spot, and we kind of went by committee, and Bertelsen just seemed to have the hot hand there. So once he figured out how to run that zone read and get downhill with that quick step, he seemed to do real well. So he did a nice job tonight. You know, it was a freak accident. He actually tripped over the out-of-bounds marker and smashed into the fence and hit his bad shoulder. So just one of those things that happens sometimes. I don't know how he'll be. We just took him out as a precaution, and we'll see how the week goes. Whether he plays against Lewis Central or not right now, I'm not sure.
Will Tucker Colgett play next week? The Falcons will have to practice hard this week as Lewis Central is looking to bounce back after Friday's loss. For the Bluffs Sports Zone with photographer Eric Morrow, I'm Aaron Zach.
Thanks, Aaron, and thanks, Eric. Now, what about TJ? Well, hit the road to the state capitol, and the Yellow Jackets had a nice trip. TJ does a number to the Polar Bears to the tune of 35-12. Steve Ruby, a couple of touchdown runs, and new quarterback Jason Wallace threw 1 touchdown pass, a 47-yarder to Ja'Kai Gregory, and runs for another. And how about that Jacket D? Des Moines North, minus 4 yards through 3 quarters at one point. Next up for Mark Puev and the Bees, their first home game against Glenwood. Now remember, TJ knocked off the Rams at their place last year. Last year went very well for the Iowa Western men's soccer team, except for that last match. But hey, can the women's volleyball team match last season? After the break.
At Council Bluffs Savings Bank, our goal is to help you, your families, and your businesses grow and prosper for generations. We take pride in our community, whether it's volunteering our time or helping individuals, families, and businesses succeed. We provide you with the personal service and attention you deserve. With over 220 years of banking experience, decisions are made locally. We are Council Bluffs people operating at Council Bluffs Bank to help Council Bluffs be a better place to work and live. Council Bluffs Savings Bank, hometown banking, the way it used to be. Member FDIC.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's 1 every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
For more than a quarter century, thousands of athletes have relied on this team, Jenny Ed Sports Med. Their sole focus is to prevent, diagnose, and treat your sports injury, getting you back in the action. Jenny Ed Sports Med partners with Neb Ortho, giving you consistent one-on-one care from diagnosis to rehab. And since every injury an athlete is different, they've even developed a sports injury clinic specifically designed for athletes. Jenny Ed Sports Med.
I'm telling you, all the Iowa Western fall sports teams have big shoes to fill, including the V-Ballers. Now, the Reivers won all the way to the Final Four last season. What are they going to do for an encore? I mean, for one, they got a new coach and a lot of fresh new faces. Well, serving up our first look is IDub TV student Austin Heinen.
Another Iowa Western volleyball season is underway. The second-ranked Reivers are currently 8-1. They are led by many new faces, including middle blocker Calvanica Lockhart. The sophomore from Houston had 8 kills and 5 blocks in IDub's only loss against Western Nebraska.
Well, when we get blocks, it's pretty intense. So I like getting blocks, and we love getting blocks because it gets us pumped.
How about the new head coach, Alicia Williams?
She's doing awesome. Very good job. I love her.
Iowa Western has had big duels already. Reivers here with the kill have beaten number 16 Western Wyoming. Number 1 Western Nebraska knocked off Iowa Western in the Reivers Classic. Head coach Alicia Williams talks about some of the team goals for this season.
Well, we've definitely made some goals academically and on the court. The court goals, we really want to be where we're at last year or better. So, we finished 4th. I think that, with a lot of hard work, we have the raw materials for it. And I'm really anxious to see how we end this year because I think that, if we're looking this good in the beginning, we can only get better from here. So.
And the Reivers do continue to get better. One reason, freshman setter Kathia Sanchez. Her goal?
Win nationals. That's all I want, win nationals, and just celebrate with my team. The girls, we have such an energy in the court, and I just love when we go we're losing and we get up again, and I love the energy that we have when we lose.
With youth and talent, Coach Williams speaks on team chemistry.
I think this group of girls, they mesh really well. They're not very cliquey, which is really hard to come by with a group of 15 girls that are all between 18 and 23. So I like that they all have each other's backs. I think that a lot of teams, when they're feeling pressured, they get on each other about it, and I think this is more of a calmer team.
The Reivers are off until September 10th when they take on Southwestern in Creston, Iowa. For the Bluffs Sports Zone, I'm Austin Heinen.
Thanks, Austin. So, the Cadillac has a new driver, but it's still a Cadillac. You want proof? Then check out the last 4 matches. At the most recent Iowa Lakes tournament, Iowa Western lost just 1 set. The Reivers knock off Kirkwood 3-1, then shut out Northeast, the host school, and Johnson County. And as you heard Austin say, Iowa Western just keeps on winning. Now 8-1, so it looks like another fun season. Same deal for the men's soccer team. Jordan Carver and the guys carving out another stellar season, and it's early. On the other side.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash, 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
What does the world need?
What will you become? Iowa Western. The world is waiting.
Can you imagine? Undefeated, only to lose in the regional championship? Tell me that didn't hurt. That's the story of the Iowa Western men's soccer team in 2012. The Reivers, of course, have put it behind them and have moved on. Big things expected once again this year. And thus, that's the way it is every season. Jordan Carver has kicked in his expertise as a player and as a coach. And thus, Iowa Western, a force to be reckoned with. Here's IWTV student Mike Byland.
The Reaver men's soccer team looks to outdo Cloud County. First half, Iowa Western's David Palmer just didn't get enough on it. Home team 19 shots on goal. Reivers showing some of their defense as Yori Domiciano steals the ball. No score after one half. Fans just trying to stay cool during the heated match. With just under 2 minutes, IW gets a good look. Shot gets deflected out. Corner kick coming. Elias Hatun-Gimon for Iowa Western gets the corner kick reflected right back to him and converts the game-winning goal. Reivers just get by 1-0.
I thought, given the circumstances with the hot weather, the long grass, we adjusted well, and we actually transitioned pretty well in that weather. I'm not sure if you've ever ran in 100+ degree weather and had to make tackles and whatnot. It's really gruesome on the body. We really want to focus on our defensive side of things, that if we can continue to do a better job of defending as a team, we'll have better offense.
Coach Carver and the team will be back in action this weekend in Chicago, Illinois. From the Bluffs Sports Zone, I'm Michael Byland.
Thanks, Mike. So, what about the ladies? Ditto. Brad Sylvie's club has yet to play a home match. The Reivers, in fact, are road warriors. Most recently, in the Minnesota Kickoff Classic, 4th-ranked Iowa Western wins 2 games by a combined score of 10-2. The team is now 3-1. The Reivers will scrimmage Concordia at home Tuesday, September 10th, if you want to check them out. So here we go, off and running once again. It's a new year, a new beginning for everybody, and that's what makes it fun. I mean, to follow the players, the coaches, and the schools on their new journey. That's what makes it interesting, because every year, every season is different. I mean, just when you think you've seen it all, something else happens, huh? So, for the Bluffs Sports Zone, I'm J.J. Davis, and I'll see you around.